Let me ask you something. You ever feel like you're on a treadmill? You're putting in the work, you're sweating, your legs are burning, you are doing all the things you're supposed to do. But when you finally look up, you realize you haven't actually gone anywhere. You're in the exact same spot you were yesterday, last week, last month. You're following all the rules. You're studying for the exam, staying late at the office, building your side hustle brick by painful brick. You're doing everything right, but the results, nowhere to be found. The grade isn't budging, that promotion is still just a rumor. The business isn't growing. The success you were promised for all this effort feels like a mirage. You can see it shimmering in the distance, but it never gets any closer. And that's when the voice starts. It's a whisper at first, but it gets louder every single day. It's the voice of doubt, and it's asking you one crippling question. Is any of this even worth it? You feel it in your chest? A tightening anxiety that tells you you're wasting your time, that you were a fool to believe your hard work would pay off. This is the moment most people quit. This is where the dream dies. But what if I told you this exact moment of doubt isn't the end? What if it's the real beginning? Section 1. The agony of the plateau. This gap between the effort you re-putting in and the results you re-not getting is the most dangerous part of any journey. Call it the plateau of despair. It's where ambition goes to die. Why? Because we're all addicted to instant gratification. We post a photo, we get a like. We order food, it shows up in 30 minutes. We want a movie, we stream it instantly. Our brains are being rewired to expect a quick, visible reward for everything we do. So when we apply that same logic to things that actually matter, our career, our skills, our personal growth, we're setting ourselves up for a world of pain. Because real, meaningful progress is almost never immediate. In fact, for a long time, it's completely invisible. While you're toiling away, it can feel like you're screaming into a void. Then you make the mistake of looking at someone else's journey, and all you see is their highlight reel. Their overnight success seems to mock your slow, painful climb. What you don't see are the years of silent, thankless work that came before their big break. You don't see the thousands of hours of practice, the countless rejections, and the late nights filled with the exact same doubt you're feeling right now. This comparison is poison. It feeds the anxiety, making you second-guess every single move. You start chasing reassurance, asking friends, family, and mentors if you're on the right path. It feels productive, but you're really just eroding your trust in your own judgment. You jump from one strategy to another, one proven method to the next, hoping for a shortcut. You try a new study technique for a week, a new business model for a month, a new workout plan for 3 days. But you never stick with anything long enough for the results to actually show up. And here's the brutal truth. This cycle of doubt, comparison, and inconsistency doesn't just stall your progress. It drains your emotional energy. You're not exhausted from the work. You're exhausted from the mental war raging in your own head. The process starts to feel like a punishment. The joy vanishes. And the temptation to just give up and be realistic becomes almost irresistible. Start telling yourself a story. Maybe I'm just not cut out for this. That story is a lie, but it's a very convincing one. Section 2. The turning point. The truth about the process. Here's the hard truth nobody wants to hear. The process isn't supposed to be easy. Struggle isn't a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're being forged. The path to anything worthwhile is paved with long stretches of seemingly pointless labor. The phrase "trust the process" has become a cliché, and we've forgotten what it really means. It isn't about blind faith or passively waiting for success to find you. Trusting the process is an active philosophy. It's a conscious decision to believe in the cumulative power of your daily actions, especially when you have zero evidence that they're working. Think of it like planting a bamboo tree. You can water it, fertilize it, and give it sunlight every single day for 1 year. It's 2 years, even 4 years, and see absolutely nothing. From the outside, it looks like a total failure. Your neighbor who planted roses has a beautiful garden, and you've got a patch of dirt. The doubt would be overwhelming. You'd feel like an idiot. But then, in the 5th year, something miraculous happens. The bamboo tree shoots up 80 feet in just 6 weeks. So, was nothing happening for those first 4 years? Of course not. It was growing underground, building a massive root system strong enough to support the explosive growth to come. Without those years of invisible work, the visible success would be impossible. Your journey is no different. The hours you spend studying are building new neural pathways, even if your grades haven't improved yet. The extra projects you take on are building your reputation, even if the promotion hasn't materialized. This is the invisible growth phase, and it's where the entire foundation of your success is laid. Trusting the process means you stop defining success by the outcome, which you can't control, and start defining it by your effort, which you can. You don't decide when the bamboo breaks through the ground. You only decide if you're going to keep watering it today. It all comes down to two things: radical self-trust and a disciplined focus on the process. And today, we're going to build those with a framework that will take you from crippling doubt to guaranteed success. Section 3. The framework for guaranteed success. So how do we actually do this? It's not about repeating trust the process like a magic spell. It's about installing a concrete framework in your life. This framework has two parts: the tools to build self-trust and the mindset to master the process. The tools to build unshakable self-trust. Before you can trust the process, you have to trust the person running it, you. Self-trust isn't a personality trait, it's a skill you build. It's the belief that you're capable and enough, right now, not just after you hit your goal. Here are 3 practical tools to start building that skill today. Tool number 1, the solo decision challenge. So many of us are conditioned to constantly ask for opinions. We crowdsource everything from what to wear to which career path to take. This habit slowly eats away at our self-trust. The antidote is to start making decisions on your own, intentionally. Here's the challenge. Once a week, find 3 small decisions you'd normally ask for input on and make them entirely by yourself. These can be tiny. What to tackle first at work? Which new recipe to try? The point isn't the decision. It's the act of making it solo and owning the outcome. Even if it's not the perfect choice, you learn a vital lesson. You can handle it. Confidence isn't about knowing you'll be right. It's knowing you'll be okay even if you're wrong. Tool number 2, the Truth with Compassion Journal. Self-trust requires brutal honesty with yourself, but honesty without compassion is just self-abuse. Most of us either lie to ourselves about our mistakes or we beat ourselves up over them. Neither one works. Here's a middle path. Each day, take 2 minutes and write down one honest observation about a mistake you made. For example, the truth is, I procrastinated on that report today. Then immediately follow it with a compassionate statement, like you were talking to a friend. It's okay. I was feeling overwhelmed. Tomorrow, I'll start with just one 25-minute chunk to make it less intimidating. This simple habit does 2 things. First, it acknowledges the truth without shame. Second, it reframes your mistake not as a character flaw, but as a data point for a better strategy. You stop being a procrastinator and become a person who's learning how to manage their workload. Tool number 3, boundaries as a declaration of self-worth. Every time you set and enforce a boundary, you send your brain a powerful message. I am worthy of respect, and I am the one who will provide it. Boundaries are not selfish. They are the rules that keep you sane. Think about it. If you untrust yourself to say no to an extra project that will burn you out, how can you trust yourself with the bigger challenges on your road to success? You can't. Start by identifying one small boundary to enforce this week. Maybe it's, I will not check work emails after 8 p.m., or I will protect my scheduled study time from interruptions. When you honor that boundary, you are giving your brain tangible proof that you have your own back. That experience builds the deep, unshakable self-trust you need to weather any storm. If this is making sense to you, if you're feeling that spark of recognition, do me a favor and hit that like button. It tells the algorithm that this is a valuable conversation. And it helps get this message to more people who feel just like you do, stuck on that plateau and needing to hear this. It's a huge help. Thanks. Part 2, the mindset to master the process. Once you start building self-trust, you need to pair it with the right mindset. This is about changing how you measure progress and how you talk to yourself along the way. Mindset number 1, master your metrics. Leading versus lagging. One of the biggest sources of our anxiety is focusing on the wrong numbers. We obsess over lagging indicators. A lagging indicator measures an outcome. The grade on the exam. It's the number on the scale. The money in the bank. They're easy to see. but they only tell you about the past. They're the result of your process. Leading indicators, on the other hand, are the inputs. They are the things you can actually control. Examples: hours spent in deep study, number of sales calls made, number of workouts completed. The key is to shift your primary focus from lagging to leading indicators. Your goal is no longer to lose 20 pounds. That's the outcome. Your new goal is to stick to my nutrition plan and exercise 4 times this week. That's the process. Success is no longer the result. Success is showing up and doing the work you said you would do. That shift gives you back a sense of control and lets you rack up small wins every single day, which builds the momentum you need for the big results to finally appear. Mindset number 2, embrace the power of not yet. Progress isn't a straight line. You will hit walls where it feels like nothing is improving. In sports psychology, these plateaus are seen as periods of skill, consolidation where your brain is integrating what you've learned before the next leap forward. To get through them, you need to change your internal language. This comes from the brilliant work of Carol Dweck on the growth mindset. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," you add 2 simple words. Not yet. I haven't figured this out yet. My business isn't. It's profitable yet. I haven't mastered this skill. Yet this simple reframe turns a dead end into a progress marker. It acknowledges where you are without closing the door on where you're going. It keeps you focused on the journey, not the temporary roadblock. Mindset number 3, become your own champion. Finally, you have to control the narrative in your head. That voice of doubt we talked about never completely goes away, but you don't have to give it the microphone. You need to cultivate an inner champion to be the loudest voice in the room. This isn't about cheesy, delusional positivity. It's about building psychological resilience. It's about talking to yourself like a coach, not a critic. Instead of, "This is too hard," your inner champion says, "This is a challenge, and I rise to challenges." Instead of, "What if I fail?" your inner champion asks, "What can I learn from this?" When you consistently pair hard work with empowering self-talk, you become an unstoppable force. Section 4, a story of the process. I want to tell you a quick story about a woman named Sarah. Sarah was a junior marketing associate whose dream was to become a brand strategist. She knew she had to prove herself, so she started the process. She volunteered for extra projects. She spent her nights and weekends studying market trends and taking online courses. For a whole year, she put in the hours. And on the surface, nothing happened. Her job title didn't change. Her salary was the same. A junior strategy role opened up, she applied, and they gave it to someone from outside the company. The voice of doubt was deafening. Her friends said she was working too hard for a company that didn't appreciate her. She felt exhausted, foolish, and was right on the edge of quitting. She was deep in the plateau of despair. But instead of quitting, she doubled down on the process. She made a solo decision to pitch a new campaign idea directly to the head of marketing, something that terrified her. The pitch wasn't perfect, but the director was impressed by her guts. She set a boundary by blocking out 90 minutes every afternoon for deep work, protecting her process. And she obsessed over her leading indicators: 1 new skill certified per quarter, 1 new book read per month. About 6 months later, the lead strategist on a major account quit unexpectedly. It was a crisis. And the head of marketing remembered the woman who had not only shown initiative, but had been building her skills for 18 months. He knew she'd been building that root system. He pulled her into a meeting. She was nervous, but she trusted herself. She had been preparing for this exact moment. She spoke with a clarity that surprised everyone, including herself. She didn't just get a new job. They created a new role for her, letting her leapfrog the junior position she'd been rejected for. Her overnight success was 18 months of silent, thankless work in the making. She succeeded not because she was the most talented person in the room, but because she was the one who refused to quit the process. The journey to success is a marathon of consistency. The guarantee of success doesn't come from luck. The guarantee comes from you. It comes from becoming the person who doesn't quit when the work gets hard and the results are invisible. The real goal isn't the promotion or the grade. The real goal is to become someone you can rely on, to build a level of self-trust so deep that you know you can handle any setback and keep moving forward. When you achieve that, external success is no longer a question of if, but when. So here's my challenge to you. For the next 30 days, Stop obsessing over the results. Instead, define your process. What are the 2 to 3 key actions, your leading indicators that you will commit to every day? Write them down. Then use the tools we talked about. Make one solo decision this week. Practice one moment of truth with compassion each day. Set one boundary. Commit to this for 30 days. And when that voice of doubt creeps in, come back to this video. Remind yourself that the struggle is part of the process. If you're ready to accept this challenge, let me know in the comments. Right, I am trusting my process. It is a declaration to yourself and to this community that you in this for the long haul. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more content to guide you on your journey. Don't let the silence of the plateau fool you. Your roots are growing. Your foundation is setting. Keep watering the ground. Your time to rise is coming.